Good afternoon, and thank you, Mr. Dragan, Mr. Lazar, for being here. Especially Mr. Dragan, thank you for agreeing upon participating in this new Alumni Talks activity. I am beyond honored and excited to interview you, and hopefully we'll have an interesting chat. So this Alumni Talks activity is designed to interview our alumni, Nova alumni, regarding your career path, high school, and college. So, in order to further inform the current high school students to pursue their dreams. We have Mr. Dragan Markovski with a Bachelor of Arts in Community Development. So, Bachelor of Arts in Community Development, it's not a very famous program. So, I would like to know if there are any specific reasons as to why you chose this particular program.
Okay, first of all, thank you very much for having me here. Really exciting, and I'm always excited to be part of whatever activities Nova is doing, and I'm always excited to see former students of our or current students, former my students. Yes, community development. It has to do a lot because I studied first after graduating from Nova in 2004. I continued my education at New York College back then in Skopje, studying diplomacy, but just for 1 year I didn't graduate it. So after that, because I started working in a non-governmental organization, we started our own organization. So it has to do a lot of community work or working with the community, the organization that we established. So when this Bachelor of Arts in Community Development and Youth Work at Southeast European University opened or started their program together with Jönköping University of Sweden. They had this Tempus program. I applied because it really made sense, having in mind the 10 years experience working in a non-governmental organization, and then putting the practical and the theoretical or the academic knowledge that I gained at the university. So it really made a circle or a sense of what my professional background, but also a choice of academic background. So it was just a roundup at the end. So,
how would you describe the program, and how would you encourage people to study this?
I would say follow your path and dreams. Even community development is not a fancy terminology of professions that everyone would like to pursue. But this was something like when I graduated, my parents asked me, "What would you work now?" Because no one knows.
Yes.
But at the same time, the academic knowledge that you gain, plus practical experience that I gained through the program, really helped me to understand my pathways in what I would like to do next, or how would I like to develop professionally. So I ended up at Nova, and then I ended up at the current job, just by having this background in community development, which is any unique one. So yeah.
How did Nova help you with your education and career? Did your high school experience make work in an international environment easier? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
International environment.
Yeah, well, Nova back in 2004 was a very multicultural environment and very an international environment that for a young adult or a young person, it really gives you this perspective of the world and how things are working outside of your own culture and mindset. So it really shaped my way of thinking and my way of developing or choosing my career and being much aware. And I still remember that how much Nova gave an accent of creating future leaders. So this is something that really stick out to me or spoke to me because I was really invested back then in community service and helping the community. And this is how I got inspired actually to start the organization that we started, and it's still active, and that I was part of for 10 years. So I think it really helped me to shape my understanding of who I am, practically.
You had a rare opportunity to experience Nova both as a student and as a teacher. As I remember, you were a community service coordinator, teacher, service development. So what are the differences between these two very different insights to the school or the community? And how did you feel in both roles?
That's a very interesting question, I must admit. Being a young person and not knowing actually how a school is running really is a different. I mean, I was blessed by the opportunity to be both a student, but also to be part of the team. And then some of the teachers that were at during my time became my colleagues now, and I had the issue of approaching them with deep respect and uh, really not feeling like their colleague. But with certain time, things changed, and I became very comfortable of being part of a very diverse, very experienced, and very devoted team, and really people that care about the learners and learning. Um, what's the difference is that I made colleagues, but also friends. And I really, and I'm 1 year out of Nova now, but still I am very much involved or in contact online, but still in contact with my former colleagues, and I miss them a lot. And at the same time, when I was a student, I was just really impressed of how things are done and what is the machine. But I couldn't understand what's the machinery behind. And being part of the team, I could understand of having countless of meetings, just discussing a simple thing that you think it could be solved in a matter of a minute, but this attention to details and how things were done really impressed me and made me understand why I enjoyed Nova that much.
What is what is it like to work for the Peace Corps? So after you left Nova, you went to work at the Peace Corps, and how does your average workday look like?
Yeah, After Nova, I got a job at the Peace Corps as a regional coordinator. Later became regional manager. So there is busy and before Corona, and the reality was very different. I mean, I had a lot. I really had a dynamic job where I had to visit volunteers. So for the viewers that don't know what is Peace Corps, it is an American agency that sends out volunteers, American volunteers, to North Macedonia, and they are teaching English in schools, or they work on community development. So they work with different organizations and municipalities. Um, my job was to support the volunteers that are coming here and living for 2 years, and really I was inspired and amazed of how much a single person can do um, in a small community, and this community development seen in action by volunteers that are really devoted to community development or teaching English. Now, at this point, due to the global pandemic, our office is still active. We're working from home, but we're working on making sure that when the situation allows, that the volunteers return, and we're preparing, of course, for a new group of volunteers. We cannot say at this point when this will happen, but at the same time, it is both creative, dynamic, and really diverse environment where we're in a administration kind of setting. We are still able to create things and to inspire change and see that change happening. So yeah.
So happy to hear that. Also, did you travel a lot? while you were before Corona?
Yeah, so I'm responsible for the eastern. Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
responsible for the eastern part of North Macedonia. So 60% of my time I was on the road, visiting places that I never knew existed, and talking to local people and meeting the counterparts or the people that work with our volunteers, meeting the volunteers and seeing them on the field how the job is done. It is just an amazing experience. So I cannot wait for the pandemic to
Be
to
over.
slow down or disappear so that I can go back on the field.
Community service seems to be a major part of your life. What's your message to all current and aspiring volunteers, activists, helpers, and how can young people such as me contribute the most to the community?
I love this question actually. It's my favorite because I think once you understand what an impact you as an individual have, this is something that will shape your mind and potentially your future, and something that you don't plan, but a single drop of change that you inspire as individual really creates this ripple effect. So something that even future generations will experience and feel. That's why I am still very passionate about volunteerism and being active citizen, and I still continued working even at Peace Corps with volunteers, and it is just a change that is infectious. It is really gives you this energy and motivation to wake up, gives you this belief in the humanity that we are really driven by change, not just by money. So I think this is something that really every young person should, and I'm very proud that I was part of Nova for 3 years, making and inspiring young people to go out on the field with me and work with Roma kids and at the zoo or with elderly. So different types of projects that and you see young people changing their attitudes, changing their way of thinking and behavior, just by a simple deed of giving back to the community.
So no person should be afraid of their own power, and they need to explore their influence, and in the end they'll learn eventually how big of an impact they can make.
Just like you. Very well said.
Thank you. I still have my doubts about certain stuff as to why I should join this and not join that, as to what difference I will make. But I guess that one day I will beat that fear out of me and make a change, no matter how small it is,
I
just
would,
to see my
yeah,
own power.
I would encourage you to look, just to search and experience and get as many experiences you can, and something will click. Something will be your niche. Something that you are really attached to and you are really motivated to fight for. But until then, just keep exploring.
Yes, thank you. This is a great message to all my peers. And I guess we're done with the questions. Any last thoughts?
Thank you for the invitation once again. I'm always excited and pleased to be and to
So am
support
I.
Nova at, in any capacity I can, and I will always do. And I miss the students a lot
We miss you too.
and my colleagues, but at the same
They
time,
miss you too.
I miss the volunteers and our volunteers, and I can't wait for them to come back.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much, and I wish to see you soon.
thank you.